All rise, please.
Good morning, everyone. If you'd please join me for O Canada, followed by a moment of quiet contemplation. Okay, thank you. Please be seated. Well, we got a beautiful day out there today, so let's not spend too long inside. Let's get right to it, why don't we? I'll look for a roll call from my clerk.
Good morning. Thank you, Warden. All members of council are in attendance, and you have your quorum. Thank you.
Is there anybody who needs to leave early today? Councillor Corbell, 1 o'clock? All right, perfect. About the time we're heading over to Rose Street, so you'll miss the bus is what you're saying, right? Okay, I'll look for approval of the agenda. Councillor Dolan, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Walker that the agenda for June 10th, 2025 meeting of County Council be approved.
Any questions on the agenda? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Do I have a disclosure of pecuniary interest by any member of council? Certainly, if you find yourself in that situation later, please declare it at that time. So presentations and delegations, and we do have one. We have Brenda Orchard from the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators, who will be presenting a collaboration award to the County of Simcoe, I believe the town of Innisfil, and City of Barrie also for their collaboratory work on Growing and Leading Together project. Come on up whenever you're ready, Brenda.
Good morning, Warden Clark, members of Simcoe County Council, staff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be here this morning representing the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators to present the County of Simcoe with the CAMA Collaboration Award with Municipalities. My name is Brenda Orchard. I'm the CAMA president. Oliver Gershow, the CAO for the town of Innisfil, was at attendance at our conference ceremony a couple weeks ago to receive this award, but I'm very pleased to be here in person with you to celebrate the great work that your staff have done. So each year, CAMA honors excellence in municipal administration through the annual awards program. We recognize achievements in 4 areas: in innovation, environmental leadership and sustainability, inspiring workplace, and the collaboration award with external organizations and municipalities. These awards celebrate local governments and their chief administrative officers and staff for creative and successful programs, projects, or services. The evaluation criteria, I know you're proud of your staff, but you'll be extra proud when you hear the evaluation criteria. They look at innovation and creativity, the impact on municipal administration, the transferability to other local governments, the impact on the municipality and the organization, and the sustainability and long-term positive effects. The Collaboration Award of Excellence recognizes an exemplary partnership of innovation, collaborative initiatives where the outcome has been demonstrated to have mutual benefit to all partners. This collaboration must result in one or more of the following outcomes: a significant improvement in service to both partners, develop a new or improved process, or improve the quality of life for residents. The category for collaboration with municipalities is awarded to a CAMA member municipality partnering with one or more municipalities, whether they're a CAMA member or not. And Council, I would say, I know you're proud of your staff every day, but what's special about these awards is that they are shared across the country with other municipalities of all different sizes. So the excellent, incredible work that your staff have done have gone on to inspire other municipalities that will emulate the work that they've done. It's very special. I know at the conference I heard people saying, wow, that's great. Why haven't we thought of that? Yeah, we have to do that. So it really stimulates excellence in others, and I think that's very special. So congratulations to you as council and to your staff. And Warden Clark, I believe staff have a video, we have prepared a video at CAMA because we wanted to celebrate the great work that you've done, and I think you're ready to show it.
Congratulations to the town of Innisfil, County of Simcoe, and City of Barrie, Ontario, winner of the 2025 CAMA Collaboration Award with municipalities for their Growing and Leading Together program. The town of Innisfil proposed a partnership with the County of Simcoe and City of Barrie to collaborate on a mentorship program. This was a unique opportunity to build a supportive and mutually beneficial relationship with others, regardless of organization. By introducing and collaborating on a mentorship program, the partners have been able to facilitate connections between organizations and employees. An added benefit is greater opportunities to create synergies between the organizations and efficiency in work processes. In November 2024, for the third consecutive year, the partners held a week-long leadership event called Leading Together. This event included over 250 leaders across Simcoe County and was designed to address the extraordinary conditions leaders are navigating today. The leaders involved owned their own development and had the opportunity to network with others beyond borders. Congratulations to the town of Innisfil, County of Simcoe, and City of Barrie on winning a CAMA Collaboration Award.
And Your Worship, I'm pleased to present, I know they've received it already, I'm pleased to present this again.
Thank you. Thank you again, Brenda. And it was lucky everybody was here, so it worked out good. So next, I'll go to our consent agenda. Councillor Burkett, please.
Morning, Your Worship. Through you, moved by myself, second by Councillor Norcross, that the Council Communications and Proclamations, May 27th, 2025 to June the 9th, 2025, have been given due consideration, be received.
Thank you. I will point out I missed your address at New Tecumseh. I was on my way, got stuck in traffic, but I hear it was a wonderful evening, and I missed a pretty good meal. I think Richard spends 4 times as much on food as what he gets on the tickets. So, but I know Jane Sinclair was there doing a presentation that I understand was well received. Go ahead, Councillor Noel.
Thank you, Your Worship. We did miss you. It was quite evident because I pointed it out to everybody. But anyhow, I'm sorry, I'm joking. I just want to take this opportunity to thank General Manager Jane Sinclair. That was an absolutely fabulous presentation. You outshined me, that's for sure, because everybody did tell me that. And they're very appreciative. A lot of people didn't know exactly what was going on. The feedback was absolutely spectacular. So thank you again for making that drive. Thanks, Your Worship.
Thank you. Adoption of council minutes and confirmation. Deputy Warden Coughlin, please.
Good morning, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Locks, that the following council minutes be confirmed and adopted, and Committee of the Whole reports confirmed. County Council minutes of May 27, 2025, Committee of the Whole report May 27, 2025, and Committee of the Whole report confidential report May 27, 2025.
Any questions arising from the minutes? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Presentation and consideration of the Committee of the Whole reports. Chair Evans, please.
Thank you, Warden. Good morning, Council. Motion is that the performance management recommendations contained in the Committee of the Whole report dated May 27th, 2025 be approved, including the confidential item. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Norcross. Back to you, Warden.
Thank you. Any items to be pulled from performance management? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Now, Chair Measures, Human Services.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Worship. Good morning, Council. The resolution is moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brian Smith that the Human Services recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated May 27, 2025 be approved.
Any items to be pulled from Human Services? Not seeing any, so all in favor? That is carried. And lastly, Chair Dolan, Corporate Services, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Miskimings that the Corporate Services recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated May 27, 2025 be approved.
Any items to be pulled from the Corporate Services? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So presentations and considerations of special committee reports, we have none, but we do have a report from Lake Simcoe Regional Airport. So I've got a motion that the minutes of the Lake Simcoe Regional Airport Board and confidential Lake Simcoe Regional Airport Board meeting held May 23rd, 2025 be received. Moved by Councillor Norcross, second by Councillor Michael Smith. Any questions arising from those minutes? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. We have no county officers report, no motions of which notice has been given, no notices of motion, no closed session. So consideration of the bills. Councillor Norcross again.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you, moved by myself, second by Councillor Burkett, that bills number 7132-25, 713325 be enacted as bylaws of the County of Simcoe.
Questions arising from the bills? Not seeing any, so all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Lots of announcements today. Next council meeting, we have our EV demonstration happening out in the parking lot where you get to test drive, and I don't know what kind of race circuit they'll have up there, but I can tell you those electric vehicles will really go. So they will be set up here. That's on the 24th after the council meeting. The transit planning workshop. This is a reminder there'll be the workshop for County Council will be held Tuesday, June 17th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the council chamber, but it's also a hybrid meeting, so anybody that isn't able to attend for that had an awful time trying to fit that in before our break, so please try and set aside some time to either join us by a Zoom or in person. And of course, we have the Rose Street groundbreaking later today. We're pretty excited about this. This is our biggest build to date, and it had a lot of support of this council. The bus will be leaving here at 12:35. So if we can meet out front at 12:30, I'm hopeful that we'll be all done our business for the day and then we'll get on our way. Any other announcements? Oh, no. Yes, Councillor Gordon.
Thank you. I'd just like to invite everyone to join the sweetest day of the year. That's Saturday, June 14th. It's one of Ontario's top 100 festivals. We're proud to host it in Midland. That's Ontario's Best Butter Tart Festival, sponsored this year by Chapman's Ice Cream. And rumor has it they'll be unveiling a brand new butter tart flavored ice cream at our festival. So join about 60,000 other folks as they come into our community, descend upon us for a day, and hundreds of thousands of butter tarts of every variety, both raisin and non-raisin, are sold that day. So we've got a great day of entertainment and all kinds of fun stuff, much as we do in all of our communities through these festivals. If you have nothing else to do this beautiful Saturday, please consider coming by Midland and joining us for the sweetest day of the year.
Thank you. Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd just like to say a big thank you on behalf of ESSA Council and staff for County Council supporting our Golf for Health. It was a great success and it was a great day, so thank you so much.
Yeah, you managed to get one day that didn't rain in the middle of that week. It was a beautiful day. Any other announcements? Not seeing any, so I'll look for the confirmatory bylaw. Councillor Norcross, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. To you, moved by myself, second by Councillor Sandu, that Bill number 7134-25 be enacted as a bylaw of the County of Simcoe.
All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And now a motion that the June 10th, 2025 meeting of County Council be adjourned at 9:18 a.m. Moved by Councillor Sandu, second by Councillor Van Stavern. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. We'll just wait to get our city reps in here again. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. I'll get Jonathan, my clerk, to do a roll call, please.
Thank you, Warden. In addition to those in attendance at council, we're joined by the city representatives, Aurelia Councillor Durnford, Aurelia Councillor Fallis, and Aurelia Mayor McIsaac, as well as Barrie Councillor Nagusi, Barrie Councillor Rietma, and Barrie Mayor Nuttall. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. Look for approval of the agenda. Councillor Dolan.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McDonald. That the agenda for June 10th, 2025 meeting of Committee of the Whole be approved.
Any questions on the agenda for today? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Do I have a disclosure of pecuniary interest from any member of council? Of course, if you find yourself in that situation later, please declare it at that time. Presentations and delegations, we have none, so we'll roll right into performance management. Chair Evans, please.
Thank you, Worship, and good morning again, Council. Number of items this morning to do with Simcoe County Archives. Lots of exciting things going on beyond construction. We'll get an update on that as well, but interesting, the museum part of the museum opened on Monday, and it is actually half price. So you may have read that, but good opportunity to get in and see the museum, albeit in a partial state. But we'll move on to first item is item 5.1, CCW 2025-178, Simcoe County Archives Renovation Project and Reopening Update. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please, for discussion? Thank you. Councillor Walker and Councillor Laux, thanks very much. Any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we'll move to the vote then. That item CCW 178 dated June 10th, 2025, regarding Simcoe County Archives renovation project and reopening update be received, and that the recommendations regarding the timing of the public reopening as generally outlined in item CCW 2025-178 be approved. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very much. Item is carried. Moving on to item 5.2, to do with the microfilm scanner, which I guess is pretty integral to the archiving business. So I hope you had a chance to read this. Pretty straightforward. CCW 2025-179, Simcoe County Archives replacement purchase of microfilm scanner. Can I have a mover and a seconder for discussion? Councillor Anderson, thank you. Councillor Fowler, seconding. Comments or questions on this item, Council? Seeing none, it does come out of reserve, so it doesn't hit directly on our budget. Motion is that item CCW 2025-179, dated June 10th, 2025, regarding Simcoe County Archives replacement purchase of a microfilm scanner be received, and that the purchase of a replacement microfilm scanner for the Simcoe County Archives microfilm program, as generally outlined in item CCW 2025-179, be approved. All those in favor? Thank you. Anybody opposed? Thank you very much. The motion is carried. Moving on to section 6 to do with the museum. There's a very interesting presentation in your binders, Simcoe County Museum Digital Strategy. Are there any comments or questions on this item? A mover and a seconder then. Councillor Smith and Councillor Cabral, seconding. Thank you very much. Motion is that item CCW 2025-168, dated June 10th, 2025, regarding the Simcoe County Museum Digital Strategy be received. All those in favor? Thank you. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, Warden. I will pass it back to you.
Thank you, and I'll hand it over to Chair Measures for Human Services.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. This is the item 7, Human Services Consent Agenda. There is an item on here regarding the Simcoe County Housing Corporation. So would anyone have any questions about that? Yeah, yes? No. You raised your hand at the right moment.
My apologies.
All right, no troubles. I'll look for a mover and seconder. Mr. Lavoie and Mr. Laux, thank you. That the following consent items having been given due consideration be received. Any questions? All those in favor? That carries. Item 8 is the Human Services Early Learning Childhood Care System Management, and we do have GM Baguette here. He's willing to take any questions. It's the Early Learning Child Care Services System Plan. It's a very good report, and I'll look for any mover and seconder to put it on the floor. Perhaps Mr. Sandhu, thank you, and the Deputy Warden, thank you. And Mr. Baguette, GM, did you have anything you want to add to that? You're good? All right. Is there any questions from the floor regarding this report, CCW 2025-124? Okay. Seeing none, we have a mover and seconder that item CCW 2025-124, dated June 10, 2025, concerning the Early Learning and Child Care Service System Plan for 2025-2029 be received, and that priorities, goals, and strategic actions as generally outlined in the Early Learning Child Care Service System Plan 2025 to 2029 be approved. All those in favor? Any opposed? And that carries. Thank you. Item number 9 under Human Services is our Partnership Policy and Business Intelligence. And we do have an item here. It's the 2025 Week of Welcome. GM Baguette, do you have something you want to say to that? Yes, please, go right ahead.
Thank you, Chair Measures. Through you, this is just the annual report to promote the Week of Welcome through our local immigration partnership team. So it's September 15 to 19. And the team will be sending an email to all member municipalities and the 2 separated city staff, just promoting the dates and encourage them to have each municipality participate in the open houses. So that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions to the General Manager in regards to this? All right, seeing none, I'll look for a mover and seconder to get this on the floor. Mr. Fowler, Mr. Fryer, thank you. Any questions again? All right, seeing none, then I'll call the motion. All those in favor? That carries, and we'll move on then. Thank you, GM. Did I read it? I did read it, did I not? Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Item number 10, Human Services Long-Term Care Committee of Management, and the CCW 2025-141 Georgia Manor Long-Term Care 16-bed expansion. This is exciting. It's a very good report, very detailed, and there's some very positive things. I guess there's an opening coming up, Your Worship, that you've invited us to. GM Sinclair, do you have anything you'd like to add to this report?
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. Just excited to say that we've filled 15 of the 60 new beds, and the final admission will occur this week. So we're thrilled to have this additional capacity to serve our communities. Thank you.
Yep, fantastic. All right, I'll look for a mover and seconder. Where are we? Mr. Rawson and Councillor Prost, thank you. And that item CCW 2025-141, dated May the 13th, 2025, regarding Georgian Manor Long-Term Care 16-bed addition expansion project final update be received, and that the funding plan generally outlined in item CCW 2025-141 be approved. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? And any opposed? Thank you, that carries. Also underneath item 10 is the Age-Friendly Community Needs Assessment Report. GM Sinclair, do you have something else you want to add to that report?
Through you, Mr. Chair, again, we're pleased to provide, as promised, the full report as attached. And just a quick note, our Service Simcoe team are working on finalizing the 18 municipal profiles. They will be posted on our website and circulated to each of the municipalities by the end of this month. And one final note, contained within the report, we were officially recognized by the World Health Organization for our age-friendly work, and have been approved and are now a member of their global age-friendly community. Our information is actually profiled on a section on their website, so we're really thrilled with that recognition. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Is there any questions to this report? All right, seeing none, perhaps I can ask Councillor Riepma and Councillor Fallis to move and second that. And the report is that's item CCW 2025-125 dated June the 10th, 2025 regarding the Age-Friendly Community Needs Assessment Report update be received. Is there any questions? Seeing none? I'm sorry? 152, you're right. Thank you for the dyslexia. Well done. 152. Anything further? All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you. At this time, we're going to go to item number 10.3. It's the Age-Friendly Activity Calendar presentation. Tracy Hill's here. Perhaps GM Sinclair, you can introduce this item, and we'll welcome our guests to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're very pleased to provide a presentation this morning on a new region-wide activity calendar. And we have Pam Hillier from, who is the Executive Director from Communications Connections 211 Central Ontario East, and our own Tracy Hill, who is our Program and Support Services Supervisor and our Age-Friendly Champion. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize Mr. John Meekins. I believe he is in the audience. He's giving a wave for his volunteer leadership. He is a volunteer, and he helped initiate this entire activity calendar with a number of other volunteers. So I want to give him a big shout out for the work and our continued partnership moving forward. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Jane, for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here today to talk about our new age-friendly activity calendar in partnership with Community Connection 211. Today in my presentation, I'll go over communication and how that's changed for older adults in our community, our partnership with Community Connection 211, the age-friendly activity calendar. I'll provide a demonstration. I'll also go over our vision and volunteer opportunities and next steps and promotions. So communication has really changed since the pandemic. We found during the pandemic, older adults were no longer going to in-person gatherings and relying on virtual programming to fill their social needs within the community. Our recent survey results showed that 57% of older adults felt moderately informed about their local area, and we're hoping this new initiative will help increase that number. Within the survey, the preferred method of communication was internet, social media, and newspapers. So I'd like to introduce Pam to come up, Pam Hilliard from 211, to talk about the history of the current activity calendar that's in place.
Thanks, Tracy. It's a pleasure to be here today. So for those of you who don't know, Community Connection is a community information center based in Collingwood, and we've been running out of that community for 56 years now. And we became a 211 service provider in 2005. So we're now a 24/7 contact center, part of the 211 Ontario network. Last year, our community navigators helped over 18,000 residents in Simcoe, Barrie, and Orillia. And the top needs were housing, income, and healthcare. And our community navigators also receive electronic referrals from primary care providers and our Simcoe County paramedics. And those are for individuals who have been identified as being impacted by social determinants of health. Many are older adults and many experiencing social isolation. And so through our work in serving older adults, we realized that the loss of those home-delivered newspapers were really impacting people to know what the heck was going on in their communities and how do they get involved. And so wanting to help folks, we decided that we got this idea around these community calendars of events, and this whole concept emerged. We tasked our database curators, led by John, in developing a calendars, and then we recruited volunteers across the region to keep the content current. And every day, our navigators are using those calendars to help older adults connect to what's going on in their community and how they can get involved. And one day, we were in a meeting with Jane and her team, and we said, this is such a great opportunity, but we need better technology. And how else can we get other people aware of these to make more referrals and let more people access the activities in the communities? And that's where we are today.
Thank you, Pam. So our team at the county, there was our communications department, our IT and web design department, our age-friendly team, and as well as Community Connection worked together to develop our new website. And I'm going to take you for a tour of that website right now. So this is what you'll see when you click on the website for the activity calendar for older adults. It has very much the similar look and feel as our tourism website. Currently, it's broken into 5 regions: Barrie, North Simcoe, Orillia, South Georgian Bay, and South Simcoe. So I'm just going to click on Orillia. And if you scroll down, first thing you're seeing is a list of items that are currently available. Now, there'll be several more as we get working on this activity calendar, but this just gives you an example. If you scroll down, there's also virtual programs that older adults can participate in. I'm going to keep scrolling. There's a lot going on in Orillia. Okay. Sorry. There we go. We're starting to get it. Here we go, virtual programming. So here's virtual programs. If you scroll to the very bottom of the page, there's links to other service providers in the area. So you can click on the different areas and it'll take you directly to web pages. You can also view this calendar. I'll spare you guys my scrolling. By list, you can go by tiles. So this is the view from the tile. So you can click on the tile and it'll give you more information on the events that are taking place. So back there again. You can also print, which is great because there are still older adults that would prefer a paper copy. So it'll print off the month and everything that is available. And you can also view the activity calendar by the month. So it'll give a full month if they just like to print the month as well. So it's just, they can keep it around their home if if they're looking to participate. So that gives you just a quick synopsis of what our activity calendar is. So our vision is to move from having 5 regions to 18. We're hoping that map will expand by having volunteer champions in each community that are looking for information and uploading it to the website so that we can keep everyone informed on what's happening in the area. We're set to launch for Seniors Month. We couldn't think of a better month to launch this program. We will be engaging stakeholders, the Ontario Health Team, our municipal champions, and as well as our Age-Friendly Advisory Committee, who really help promote the programs that are taking place within the community. Our communications department has done a great job and a big rollout plan for social media, so we can keep everyone informed and give them knowledge of this program. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
Right over here, Councillor Evans.
Tracy, Pam, thanks very much for the presentation. I've got 2 questions, quick ones. First of all, for organizations that are not currently advertising or participating with your website, how would they go about getting in contact with John or volunteers, or what was the process of getting their event online?
So there will be information that's found within the website. We're also looking, this is to come, but having a link where they can upload their information so that they're able to directly have it go straight to our crew, our volunteers, because this will be vetted by volunteers, and they're able to upload that event to our website.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
just one more question through the chair, if I could. Long term, I know I probably don't have it yet, but we have a number of, in Tiny, Penetang, that area, French-speaking organizations that like to communicate in that language, and I'm sure we have other languages in other parts of our county as well that would like to be included. Is there any plans for including second, third languages in the future with this?
Yes, absolutely. As this calendar develops, we'll look into having other languages available.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Drew, thank you very much. Appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chair.
All right, thank you. And now we're going to go to Councillor Cabral.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just in relationship to the presentation where you clicked on Aurelia and we saw all the different activities that were available there, there were a series of virtual programs. Are those virtual programs connected to all the other areas as well? So if I'm in South Simcoe and I click on virtual programs, since it's virtual, does it really matter where it takes place? So I'm just wondering, if I'm in South Simcoe and I click on virtual programs, will those virtual programs up in Aurelia also populate there too?
I think it would depend on the organization, and that would be in the description if it was exclusive to a certain area.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Fowler is next. Oh, you're okay now? Thank you. And then we'll go to Councillor Cox.
I just wanted to thank you so much for this presentation. I think this is very important, especially for the rural municipalities, because we don't have a lot of calendars or the internet availability to a lot of our seniors, and this will also hopefully help in them finding groups to help them to travel to do things. So I just wondered, is that something you're looking at also? Is like, if this is just an example, so if there's a Lions Club in a small community and there are seniors who need rides places, is that something that we're looking to see, or is that something we would initiate on our own?
GM Sinclair.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So just to confirm the question, you're asking about whether we're able to provide information so people want to travel from one community to the next?
Yeah, because if there's something in Aurelia going on and we're in Coldwater, let's say, so you're looking at rural communities going to an urban area to participate in the different activities. So I don't know if it's a helping hands thing, if they help that, or would a community group step in to help, and I didn't know if that was something a volunteer champion, or is it something that we could look at?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that's actually a separate issue, but I can tell you, as part of our age-friendly work, one thing that we did receive through that survey and those focus groups was we need to communicate more about transportation across the county. They've done, I think in our transportation department, they've done a lot of promotion and marketing. However, our survey indicated people still don't understand what's available. So that is part of our plan, is to help market around transportation mechanisms for people across the county as well. So it's a separate issue, but it likely will dovetail into attending different social events as well.
Okay, just supplemental. When you have this information on your community calendar, do you have the information about links, or is the fact that someone in a rural community could get a bus to go to that or something?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we've talked about that very suggestion. It's a great suggestion, Councillor Cox. So we will be looking to see if we can actually market that right on the calendar. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good questions. Are there other members of committee who have any questions? Yes, Councillor Dolan.
Thank you for the presentation. I can already have a couple of people in mind who I think would be great volunteers. So who would I put them in touch with?
You can reach out to myself or Jane or Pam, any of us, and we'll get them connected.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, Pam. Hello, Pam. Go right ahead.
Just wanted to make a comment on the transportation pieces, and that's where you can call 211 to find out about transportation. And same with the language pieces. We do have interpretation available in over 170 languages, so people can call in their home using their own language, and our staff will search and help them connect to what's there in the meantime. But thank you.
Thank you. There's some terrific apps out there too that can help translate, that's for sure. Anyone else? All right. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, would it be possible for the communications team to put together something that each municipality can share on their socials that has the link to sort of just streamline the process of finding these volunteer champions?
I believe that's part of our rollouts. If it's not, then we'll ensure that that happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Snell. Anybody else? All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank John as a volunteer. Great job. This House gave you a round of applause, but it's certainly more than that needed. Thank you so much for your volunteer effort. And to Tracy and to Pam, it's great to thank you for your presentation. It's nice to see you here in the House, Pam. Haven't seen you for a long time. All right. Council, we're going to go to the motion then. I'm looking for a mover and seconder on this motion. Can I look Mr. Rawson again? And where are we? And Ms. McDonald right here in front. Thank you. That CCW 2025-177 dated June 10th, 2025 regarding the age-friendly activity calendar be received. Are there any further? I'll call the motion. All in favor? And anybody opposed? No? Thank you. Motion carries, and thank you again for your presentation. Council, we're going to move to, or committee, we're going to move to item 11, Human Services, Other Matters. There are other matters today. We do have the municipal representatives of the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee report. And Mr. Baguette, GM Baguette, do you have anything you want to add to that, or are we comfortable with that? You're good? All right, thank you very much. Is there any questions to this report? I see that Councillor Bell has been nominated as the chair. Anybody else with any questions? All right, well, I'm going to go with Councillor Bell as the mover. Is there a seconder, please? Councillor Prost, thank you. That recommendation is contained within the municipal representatives of the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee report dated June the 3rd, 2025, be approved. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? That carries. The Affordable Housing Advisory Committee report dated June the 3rd is also on the agenda. Councillor Bell, would you like to move that as well? Thank you, sir. And I'll look for a seconder. How about Mayor Nuttall? You good with that? Thank you, sir. That recommendation is contained within the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee report dated June the 3rd, 2025, be approved. All those in favor? And that carries unanimously. Are there any other items for consideration underneath Human Services? All right, well, thank you, committee. I'll turn the chair back to his worship.
Thank you, Chair Measures, and now Chair Dolan, Corporate Services, please.
Thank you, Warden Clark. So we're on item 12.1, request for exemption to remove woodlands under Forest Conservation Bylaw. Questions or comments on this item? Councillor Cox.
Yeah, through the chair, I read the letter or the email from someone in Schedule 2 stating that it's part of a future development. And then when I was reading further on in the agenda on 13.2, implications of the boundary expansion, that was also an area. So is this going to be agriculture, or is this going to be for future development?
GM Elliott?
Through the chair, at this point, the lands remain agricultural. Any speculation or postulation of change of use is for further consideration down the road.
Any other questions or comments on this item or revisions to the recommendation? Seeing none, could I please ask for a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Fryer, seconded by Councillor Norris. Thank you. That item CCW 2025-135 dated June 10th, 2025 regarding a request for an exemption to Forest Conservation Bylaw 6894 be received, and that an exemption to allow the removal of 16 hectares, 39.5 acres of woodlands at 1895 Forbes Road in the Township of Springwater, substantively in the form attached to Schedule 1 to item CCW 2025-135, be granted with the following conditions. 1, that prior to commencement of clearing operations, staff receive confirmation that the requirements of the Endangered Species Act and its regulations regarding the endangered species identified on the property have been met. And 2, that prior to commencement of clearing operations, staff receive confirmation that no contravention of the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Act will occur due to the identified habitat feature. Last chance for questions. Seeing none, all those in favor? Any opposed to this? One opposed. That's carried. Next is Corporate Services Planning, and it's item 13.1. And it's a summary of the proposed Bill 5, Protect Ontario by Unleashing Our Economy Act 2025, and Bill 17, Protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act. Are there questions and comments on this report? Seeing none, thank you, staff, for bringing this. I know in the planning world, it's kind of hard to keep up these days with everything that's going on, and really appreciate all of that effort. And I go to Councillor Cabral.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that. Sorry for not getting up quick enough. Just with respect to the Building Code Act and that piece that is basically saying if you meet the threshold, they don't want to have any additional constraints put on by the municipality. I was wondering if staff might be able to elaborate that elaborate on that a little bit more as to what that actually means, because there are green initiatives and things like that that are in place now that I don't know whether they're provincially mandated or whether some municipalities are doing them on their own, but I'd appreciate a little bit of clarity. Thank you.
GM Elliott.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair. First off, I do want to point out to council or committee today that these bills have received royal assent on Friday. So we do intend to continue to submit our comments. If anything, at least it puts the county on record of our position on these. To answer your question about the building code, and as you know, the county is not in the business of administering the Building Code Act, but our interpretation is that anything that falls outside of those standards, and that would include things like green building expectations or requirements, are not something that can be imposed on a proponent. Asked for, but not necessarily required.
Councillor Cox.
And will this be CC'd to the MPPs?
GM Elliott.
If that's to the direction of council, we can certainly do that.
I'd like that, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. So did we need an amendment for that? So Councillor Cox, do you have a seconder? Councillor McDonald? And the amendment be that the local MPPs be copied. Thank you. The Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing and local MPPs would be the amendment. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, so that's moved by Councillor Cox and seconded by, who was the seconder? Councillor McDonald. Just on the amendment. So any questions or comments on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor? That's carried. And then the motion as amended. Same mover and seconder. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. The, do I have to read it now? Clerk? Ideally, yes. Okay, the item CCW 2025-162 dated June the 10th, 2025 regarding proposed Bill 5, Protect Ontario by Unleashing Our Economy Act 2025 and Bill 17, Protecting Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act 2025 be received, and the county staff provide comments on the proposed Bill 5 and Bill 17 to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing regarding county-related interests are generally outlined in item CCW 2025-162, and that the Minister of Municipal Affairs and the local MPPs be copied. All those in favor? I think I already did that. That's carried. Thank you. Next is item 13.2, potential Barrie annexation implications to the County of Simcoe. Questions or comments on this item? Councillor Cabral.
Thank you, Chair. On this particular one here, when I'm looking at it, I'm referring to Schedule 1, and we are on 2025-166, correct? When we're talking about Schedule 1, which I believe is the media release for Springwater Township dated Friday, May the 9th, I'm just curious to know, and I did make an inquiry, curious to know at what point in time, if there was any consultation or advisement to the county or to the warden directly, even at minimum as a professional courtesy, at what point in time the county staff or our warden was made aware that this particular press release and this proposal was being put forward. If you might, I'd appreciate that.
I can start off. Maybe Rob will want to finish. I found out, I think, the same time your council did, just around the same time.
Anything to add, GM Elliott?
As staff, I found out on the Friday afternoon of, I think it was May 9th.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Other questions or comments on this report? Councillor Cox.
Yeah, through the chair, I wonder when you've advised you want to that November 28th, 2025 would be a realistic target. Is that a realistic target, or do you think you're going to need more? Or I'm just not sure if we should ask them for more or just leave it the way it is. You would know better. You're being there.
GM Elliott.
Thank you. Through the chair, we think the additional couple of months being sought here would give us enough time to do at least a fairly detailed review of the implications to report back to council and participate in a meaningful way through the process.
Thank you.
Councillor Cabral.
Thank you. Just one more question, and thank you very much, Chair, for recognizing me. With respect to the piece in the report that speaks about direct consultation, I guess, with the City of Barrie itself, is that definitively not available to the county to do that at all, or is that something that might still present itself going forward?
GM Elliott.
Through the chair, through the Office of the Land Development Facilitator, there is scheduled meetings to occur with all parties in attendance at that point. And that would be an opportunity for us to express these concerns and items for consideration.
Thank you.
Councillor Greenlaw.
Thank you very much, Chair Dolan. Through you to either the warden or General Manager Elliott. What do you foresee the role, and will it change from what it's been to date of county in this facilitation process?
GM Elliott or Warden Clerk?
If I may start off through the chair.
Yeah, you go.
The county's always had a seat at the table through the facilitated process, and we continue to make sure that our voice will be heard. Our the purpose of today's report was to inform this council of some of the issues that we have raised, and we want to make sure continue to have traction and due consideration as decisions are made through the process. So we will continue to actively participate in that agreed upon process.
Just I'll add, I think if we can get all in the room together, I think we can accomplish more if we're all around the table at the same time. And again, saying that we're not opposed, like, I had a meeting with Barry yesterday. So we're not opposed to actually meeting individual municipalities as well. We'll have our own position, but we want to see what each municipality is looking for as well, right?
Follow-up, Councillor Greenlaw?
Yeah, supplemental, please, Chair Dolan. So where I want on of clarity, do you see yourselves as an equal partner to the other three the Tier 1 city and the other two municipalities in the negotiation? Because I think there's a substantial economic component to this from a taxation levy perspective. And I also think there's a very significant impact from an economic development strategy of county and its lower tier municipalities that would be affected by this. So I would appreciate if there was a more active presence and with county involved in this, because I think at the end of the day, whatever decision is made, it has to be beneficial to the region and surrounding area, and not just a municipality versus another municipality. And it should not negatively impact the revenue streams that currently exist.
Thank you. Jim Elliott.
Through the chair, and that's precisely part of why we're here today. We entered into these discussions feeling that we were on an equal playing field with all parties. It seemed to take a bit of a turn where county issues weren't given the same kind of consideration. And I think part of why we're here today is to make sure that this council and the Office of the Development Facilitator understands there are legitimate issues that impact not just the two immediately impacted communities, but the entire county. It will impact our tax base. It will impact economic development initiatives, other impacts that we really need to understand and make an informed decision on. So we are hopeful that we will get that on track. Like I say, we've actively participated. We need that voice and an understanding that an upper tier government does have an implication in an annexation. When a boundary is adjusted, it impacts those issues that we just spoke of. I know in other instances, annexations, upper tiers weren't really necessarily given due consideration, and we want to make sure that those issues aren't dropped off the table.
Thank you very much. I concur.
Yeah,
Warden Clark.
Thank you. And yeah, we were looking for a more aggressive approach and permission of council to be that way. We thought we were an equal partner, but now we're kind of hearing, well, if a municipality can work the deal out, you guys come in after the fact and then worry about, and that's not looking at the big picture. And with the deadline they set, and that's a concern to us as well. Some of the studies that we think need to be done won't be completed in that timeline, even a feasibility study on servicing. I mean, there's no point giving land if you can't service it. Like we need to see all these numbers ahead of time. If you want land, what if it's cheaper to service the land that they already have in Innisfil than the new land? It doesn't make sense then. We need to see those numbers, and as of yet, we haven't seen any of them. So it makes it very difficult when you're trying to put a position forward on fact base and you don't have any facts in front of you.
Thank you, Councillor Cabral, and then Councillor Brian Smith.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that. With respect to Schedule 3, which is information from the Midhurst Landowners Group, and this is a question directed to Manager Elliott. With respect to the economic benefits assessment there by Keller and Planning, some of those numbers are fairly substantial with respect to jobs. They're saying 22,383 jobs. Development would generate a total of about $716 million, including $378 million for the Township of Springwater and $257 million for Simcoe County. And I guess my question with respect to these numbers, are these numbers by Keller Planning and Economic Consulting, are these numbers that the county will be looking at going forward? Because when I read the staff report, it's fairly minimal what the impact might be financially in today's dollars. But even looking at the tens of millions that are included in the staff report going forward, will staff be looking to correlate these particular numbers and see how accurate they might be?
Jim Elliott?
Yes, through the chair, and that's exactly the direction we're seeking today. That submission was made by a landowners group. We're intrigued and interested in that, and we want to explore that further and understand the viability and the opportunity that presents for the county. We also appreciate there's a lot going on right now with changing provincial planning policies, economic conditions, and I think the landscape around growth is changing. And there could be opportunities here that we really need to untangle and make sure that we make informed decisions on. So that's a very intriguing proposal that we do plan to unpack and properly assess so we can make informed decisions.
Follow on, please. Also in that particular piece there, and this is something that I was not initially aware of, is a piece there that talks about the potential to develop 10,392 housing units. 5,172 single semi-detached units, 1,981 townhouse units, and 3,239 apartment units. And talks about a population number. Is this particular piece something that the county was already familiar with, or is this the first time that the county has also seen that piece?
Jim Elliott?
Thank you for the question, and through the chair. That came up recently in discussions with the landowners group. It's, again, intriguing. We want to better understand that. Our initial focus had been prominently on the economic and employment lands we were mostly concerned about. But again, this is something that we would want to work in partnership with Springwater and through the development facilitator to understand what the realities of this are. It's a little bit premature right now to take a position on any of that.
Thank you.
Councillor Brian Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question was answered. Councillor Cabral asked his first question. But I understand the report. I understand what staff are looking for. But what I've heard a few times in discussion is, how aggressive it is that we want to be. We're wondering that. And so I guess my question would be, how aggressive does staff suspect that we should be or expect that we should be? Because this is, I have struggled to understand this from its inception. The city of Barrie has lots of infill land within the city as it sits today. They haven't used the lands that they did annex in the past from Innisfil, and now we're looking to 2 other municipalities. And the impact on the county tax base is going to be substantial. So I hear the question or the statement, how aggressive we should be. I'm just trying to get clarity on what staff's looking for there, because I think it's important that when we leave here today that staff is clear on that. And my suggestion would be to be very aggressive in this and to ensure that whatever's happening here, that we are at the table. It's one thing to have a seat at the table. It's another thing to be invited to sit in those seats when required. And I have some concerns there as well. So I'll leave that at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Warden Clark.
Yeah, just on that note, I will be reaching out to the minister, and I want to drive home the timeline. Like, listen, we can't go into this with a closed mind. Or, again, sitting beside me, you see what happens if you just say, no, 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 the province will do what the province will do. So we still, and you'll see it a lot in the report, see an opportunity for a win-win here. And that is feasible. You give up a little bit of development land in one area that you weren't going to get to anyways. If you can gain development land through zoning in another area where it's feasible for you to do that, then that's a win. And that's a win for both municipalities, because as we know, the demand for housing is there, and the demand's going to be there for employment lands as well. So we're still coming in at that position. Our trouble is we need to see the numbers, and we need a little more time to process those numbers, and that's what I will be driving home with the minister. Like, this is not something you hurry. This is planning for the next 30 years. Like, it doesn't have to be solved by September. And that's the message that I want to drive home.
Thank you. Deputy Warden Coughlin.
Thank you, and through you. The Schedule 3 information that's been brought forward to this House, as Deputy Cabral just pointed out, there was some new additional homes being suggested for Midhurst. This House might remember that about 10 years ago, Springwater Township went through the Midhurst Secondary Plan where 10,000 more homes were brought. This, I just want for clarity, is not speaking to those original 10,000 homes. This report, these numbers, this potential win for the county would require an additional 10,000 homes in Springwater Township. That has yet to be brought to Springwater for consideration. That information was made available to the county before it was made available to the township. That information has been made available to the province prior to being made available to Springwater Township for our residents to even consider whether this council should be considering these numbers, this win for the county. Just to be mindful, that information is valid. I'm sure they hire the best people, they have the best reports, but I just wanted to be clear to this House that that is an additional 10,000 homes, an additional 30,000 people on the already now 30,000 people coming. It greatly changes the landscape of Springwater Township and the county. I understand that more people is great. Springwater, we're already doing our fair share. Our growth targets they far surpass those other municipalities, not all the high growth. We are already doing our fair share. I think that considering these numbers as part of a benefit to the county or during an annexation is unfair when our residents have not even had an opportunity to see this report.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I would ask that, two things. First of all, servicing is key. You can't build a house if you can't flush a toilet or turn on a tap. So that would be number one. And if I could just share the teeniest bit of unsolicited advice from 2010, is that be aggressive, but be respectful and use data. When I asked after the fact, the Ontario Growth Secretariat, when I asked him after the fact, what could we have done differently? What did we do wrong? His answer to me was, you made it personal. So we had attack ads for the MPP. We had busloads of people going down and, with signs to the front lawn of Queen's Park. And I would suggest you're much better with a seat at the table than a sign on the lawn. So get your facts and deal with them strongly but respectfully if you want to learn from the mistakes of the past. Thank you. Councillor Lavoie.
Yes, thank you very much. I certainly agree entirely with fact-based analysis. I think facts have been a deficit so far. We don't understand what the capacities are coming out of Barrie and the offers that they're making. So yes, I think all the municipalities and in particularly the county needs to understand that, because there are presently alternatives being suggested through this expansion. And I think the expansion might bring rise to the question as to whether or not annexation is required at all. So there's a lot to be considered, and I do agree with the general manager that more time based on the emergence of these new plans or proposals need to be incorporated, and that will take time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Cox.
Yeah, through the chair, I guess as being a part of Simcoe County, my concern would be the economic development part, the lands that we could lose future development for economics on Highway 400 and different areas that would benefit the county in the future. And I agree with what Councillor Lavoie has said, the data, the making sure of everything being done, and is it really necessary to do this in order to provide jobs. And so as a member municipality, I agree also with what Councillor Smith said. We do need to be aggressive in what Councillor Dolan says about respectful, but this is very important to all of us here at the county, and we appreciate the fact that you're working hard for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Chair Dolan. I know that growth is needed for housing and that, but what comes with the ache after is going to be the infrastructure that is not in place. I mean, I know that we would need hospitals, we need more long-term care, and we know the years and years and years that takes. That would be a bigger concern for me, to bring these people, because I do know there's housing, but if all of those other things don't fall in place, we're going to be in a big world of hurt for the ones that are already existing in our municipalities.
Thank you, Councillor McDonald. Any other questions or comments on this report? Seeing none, could I please ask for a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Cox and seconded by Councillor Proust. That item CCW 2025-166 dated June 10th, 2025 regarding the potential implications of the City of Barrie proposed boundary expansion on the County of Simcoe be received, and that the Warden and Chief Administrative Officer and appropriate senior staff continue to work with the potentially impacted local municipalities and stakeholders to complete detailed analysis of impacts of the proposed annexation from the City of Barrie on county programs, services, assets, finances, economic development, and infrastructure, and that as part of the analysis, the county work with appropriate expert consultants to assess the proposed boundary adjustments and identify alternative viable options to current proposals that support provincial priorities while equitably addressing the regional market needs in an economical manner, and that the findings of the county's analysis be provided to the Office of the Provincial Land and Development Facilitator, OPLDF, to contribute to informed decision-making regarding any boundary adjustments, infrastructure, or land use approvals that are required to support changing conditions, and that the County of Simcoe opposes any boundary agreements that the county is not a direct party to that have the effect of adjusting the boundaries of the County of Simcoe without meaningful input and support obtained from the County of Simcoe, and that the September 30th, 2025 deadline for an agreement framework as imposed by the OPLDF is not an adequate timeframe to complete the necessary analysis required to inform collaborative decision-making, and that the OPLDF be advised that November 28th, 2025 would be a realistic target date. Final questions or comments? Councillor Anderson.
Thank you. And I just want to draw to the conclusion in the second last paragraph, it says a direct party. So if I'm understanding that correctly, the county opposes anything other than being a direct party to this situation. So if we're not a direct party, can I ask what's coming back to council then for consideration at that time?
GM Elliott.
Through the chair, our intention here is to suggest that any agreement that does not include or address the county as a party to that would be something we would be opposed to. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, these decisions are in the hands of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. There's not much legislation that governs these types of moves, and that's why we think it's important that we go forward with facts and data and information to make sure that informed decisions are being made. So if there was an agreement that did not include the County of Simcoe, we would oppose that.
Deputy Warden Coughlin.
Thank you. And for the House, to GM Elliott, if you could speak to the weekly meetings with the provincial facilitator that Springwater has invited the county to.
GM Elliott.
Thank you. And for clarity, we are going through a confidential process with the Provincial Land Development Facilitator. Meetings are being held with each municipality, and in the case of Springwater, staff has been invited to attend those. They're occurring on Friday mornings to participate in those meetings with Springwater staff and the Provincial Land Development Facilitator.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? These are challenging times. I've read the resolution. I'm sure you don't want me to read it a second time. All those in favor? Any opposed of the recommendation? That's carried unanimously. Are there any other matters for consideration into corporate services? Seeing none, I will pass it back to the warden. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Dolan. And now Chair Evans, finish off performance management, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Council. One item for consideration, first of all, under performance management to do with finance, is item CCW 2025-172, which is our Municipal Services Management Agreement update considerations. Are there any questions or comments on this item? It's to do with our existing agreements. General Manager Wilcox, anything you'd like to add?
Thank you, Chair. I thought I would just present a bit of an outline just
By
to
all means.
talk through
Thank you.
where we're going with this report. As Council knows, the Municipal Services Agreement that is in place with the two cities has expired in terms of its actual timing. There's a clause within the agreement to keep it going, so it's fine. It stays the way it is. However, we do want to try and renew that agreement. And there are three different areas where we want to make some changes in that agreement going forward. One of them is regarding the service cost sharing method. That is just to confirm that we want to keep it the same way it is. We don't really want to change that. We feel it does align with the way that the services are provided. The caseload method is used for allocating costs for Ontario Works and a portion of Children's Services because it is case-based funding. So we feel that does align. The other areas are largely allocated based upon weighted taxable assessment. It's a regional service. The service is scoped out that way and managed as a regional service. It's a system. So weighted taxable assessment seems to be the fairest way to do that because it is allocated that way in other regions of similar vein. We do want to make a small change to administrative allocation to streamline the way things are done. You can see that we've managed this system very effectively. The largest percentage of administrative costs is around the 6 to 7% range, and even some of them are as low as 2%, where it's a lot of flow-through funds. So we're proposing that we just simply take that data, we allocate 2% allocation for the two services of Children's Services and Community Services, largely because those are flow-through. There's not a lot of costs that we incur, and we manage them very well. And then set a 6% allocation for the other areas. This provides certainty to us and to our partners. It also provides a target, frankly, for us to make sure that we're meeting so that we can maintain that low-cost service. And then the last area that we're looking at changing is a capital methodology. This is requested by our partners. It's evolved over the last couple of iterations of the services agreement. Originally, it was whenever the capital was incurred, so year incurred, which is one option. Then we moved to an amortization method where we amortized over 10 years for the major facility construction costs, so major capital items. The smaller ones were still allocated year incurred. And that was suggested by the partners in the last review. And specifically, the timing was suggested from the City of Barrie based upon the way that they manage their capital infrastructure. The other method that's available is a depreciation method, where the capital would be allocated across the useful life of the asset. So in alignment with depreciation, which is an accounting term, but is basically set up for the useful life of the asset. It's on our books. We can easily take that cost and allocate it. We do that for one service already. We do that for paramedic services for the allocation that the province takes. So the province does pay for depreciation regarding paramedic services, which is great. So it seems fair because we own the asset, but there is a cost because we're using up that asset, so it's fair to allocate that to the partners involved. The province is a major partner for paramedic services and funding us. So those are the options, and we're suggesting that at the request of our partners that we move to the depreciation method. We're seeking approval to discuss that with our partners and see whether we can reach agreement on that. And then it would also renew the terms and update some other kind of matters in terms of department names and things like that within the agreement. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, General Manager Wilcox. Appreciate the presentation. Any comments with regards to the presentation? Councillor Anderson, please.
Thank you, and through the chair, and I apologize if I've not read this in any other reports from staff, but with regards to the membership of Barrie and Arroyo at the table here, if the county composition changes, has there been any discussion as to reduction of members from both the cities?
General Manager Wilcox?
Through the chair, I have not been in that. Maybe the clerk can comment towards that. Governance.
Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, to the councillor, I think that'll depend on the outcome of the triple majority process. There are a number of things that would likely be addressed by the governance committee should the triple majority process be achieved around council composition. And in past reports around council composition, city representation was contemplated there as something that would likely go back to governance committee. So I think if triple majority were achieved, that would be sort of on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councillor Anderson, follow-up.
Yes, so just as a follow-up through the chair, so does anything need to be amended with any future agreements here, or is that something that can be handled with the governance committee?
General Manager Wilcox?
Thank you. Through the chair, this report does not set in stone anything at this time. We do need to solidify the actual agreement. That will be coming back to council for approval. So that's when we would definitely have to make sure that we've got something in place that would adjust things for that. Thank you.
Just not to put you on the spot, but put you on the spot, any idea when that would come back? Would that be fall, perhaps, or winter?
Through the chair, yes, we would definitely target the fall to come back. So we'll take time to do staff-to-staff discussions across the summer months and come back in the fall, with hopefully with an agreement.
Okay, great. Good. Thank you very much. Any further questions? A mover and a seconder, please. Start with Councillor Fryer, seconded by Councillor Anderson. Thank you very much. Motion is that item CCW 2025-172 dated June 10th, 2025 regarding the Municipal Services Management Agreement update considerations be received, and that subject to deliberations in the affirmative, staff proceed in the discussions with municipal partners based on recommendations generally outlined in item CCW 2025-172. All those in favor? Those opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Are there any other matters for consideration for performance management? Seeing none this time, thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to you, Warden. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Evans. We have no closed session at this point, so I'll look for the adjournment that the June 10th, 2025 Committee of the Whole be adjourned at 10:24. Moved by Councillor Fowler, second by Councillor McDonald. All in favor? That is carried. So stick around for lunch, folks, and then the boss will be here. Chair, when would you like to 10 minutes and we'll do economic development? Yep.